Hi, boys and girls. I'm so proud of you and for all your hard work of doing these lessons and doing your writing on your own at home. I know it's the hardest thing to do by yourself, and I'm so proud. Okay? And so is Miss Crod. I wanted to first say that. Secondly, today I'm going to be teaching you all about chapter 3. Today I'm going to teach you about how to write your own historical fiction. Okay, so when you think about the Great Horn Spoon, that is historical fiction. That is real history of the gold rush, of the routes to San Francisco, of the different types of people who went to San Francisco, the reasons they went to San Francisco, and the characters, Praiseworthy and Jack, are not real people. So where historical fiction is like that, it's like the Great Horn Spoon, it's like I Survived books. Real history, but the main character's fictional. But everything that happens to them could have, based on true events. So today, writers, I'm going to show you what you need to have when you write historical fiction, okay? So you need the 3 P's and the 2 F's. Okay, and I'll tell you what that means in a minute. Okay, writers, here's our poster that we're going to work off of to help us plan our writing. Today we're going to plan and draft our story. So for chapter 3, you might have written a story about the treatment of the Chinese, or a story about during the gold rush, or a story about the Mexican-American War. Okay, your genre, your type of writing is historical fiction, so it's a narrative again. And I want to remind you that there's a few things you're going to want to have to be able to plan. So first you're going to write your notes, and then you're going to draft today. Number 1, decide on the perspective. Who is telling the story? So in my example, I'm going to do the Bear Flag Revolt, okay? Here I've got Vallejo, Benicia, his wife, and a bear flagger. That's a little gun. I'm choosing between those 3. I'm going to choose a bear flagger. That's the point of view I want to tell my story from. That's going to be the first person, okay? Now that I've got a person, that's my first P. My next one is I'm going to need a problem, because every good story has got a problem and then eventually a solution. My problem I write is either going to be a tension or a conflict. It's going to be an actual problem that needs to be solved, or some bad feelings that are building. In this case, I've decided that my problem is going to be for the bear flagger. His problem is California belongs to Mexico. General Vallejo controls this part of Alta California. And part of that problem is the bear flagger, my bear flagger, he wants control of it, okay? This is my one problem, okay? So this goes all together. This is my bear flagger's problem, all right? Now, I've got my P for person. I've got my P for problem. And then I have my third P for place. I need a setting. So my setting is going to be Vallejo's house. Well, actually, I'm going to give myself a choice. I'm going to either choose this is going to be at Vallejo's house, or the jail in Sacramento where the bear flaggers later take him. I think the most exciting moment for my reader would actually be outside Vallejo's house, where the bear flaggers are waiting before they storm his house, before they all go up at once and knock on his door and try to take over. So this is going to be my place. So far we've got the 3 P's: person, problem, place. Now we have the 2 F's. All right, you ready for this? It's going to be, what are your characters' feelings and what's the final decision? So it's feelings and final decision. So in my example, you can see what are my bear flagger's feelings. I think he feels nervous. Vallejo will get violent and fight back. I mean, that's a danger, right? You go attack someone's house, they could attack you back, especially someone who's a general of the army and in control. The second part is I think my bear flagger's also feeling powerful, because I think as the bear flagger, I think I, as a bear flagger, am doing the right thing for California. I'm doing what needs to be done. And I'm with all these other bear flaggers who are going to do it with me. So sometimes when you're in a group, you can feel powerful and you all go do something together, like right before you play a sport game or something. Well, that's how I feel. I feel powerful and nervous. I can feel two very different feelings at the same time. So writers, in your notebook, what I want you to do in your planning of your narrative, your historical fiction, is I want you to decide what person is telling the story, what is the problem, like the thing they want to change or the thing they don't like. What's the place? All right, what's the place? Where is it happening? And then the two final F's. I want you to plan how your character feels. And lastly, the final decision, okay? My final decision or action is going to be, Vallejo invites us in to his house. And the final decision or change is that we have control. So bear flaggers have control of of California, and Vallejo let us in. Now, if you're doing something like the treatment of the Chinese, your problem could just be other white miners being really mean to you when you're mining out in the gold fields. That could be your tension. What bothers you is people being racist to you, you paying a very expensive tax on your gold. So that problem's not going to change. Like, no one's going to start being nice to you in this story. But maybe your big decision would be leaving the gold fields and starting a laundry or starting a restaurant. Like, maybe that's your decision, is you're getting away from what's bugging you and you're changing your business to make more money. So that would be a decision, okay? Notice how I chose a moment that probably lasted about 20 minutes. Your narrative is basically a mini story, okay? Your narrative is a mini story. If you were to time your real event that you write about, it would never last more than 20 minutes. It's a small moment, okay? You're writing a small moment, that's historical fiction, okay? Don't tell me someone's entire journey to San Francisco on a boat. That lasts like a year. That's crazy. If it's the Mexican-American War, maybe it's one moment that a soldier is experiencing, or it's the president of Mexico's moment of feeling like, do I engage in war? Do I lead my country to battle against the United States? Like, is that the best choice? Like, maybe your mini story, your narrative is a small moment around that president's decision. Or maybe it looks a little bit like mine. Okay? So it's about your focused topic, but now it's in the story form, and it's a moment that would only last about 20 minutes, but has the 3 P's of person, problem, place, And the 2 F's, feelings, final decision. Okay, writers, I can't wait to see what you're going to come up with. If you have any questions, email Miss Karad or email me. And then check your email about every 10 or 15 minutes after so we can help you solve your problem. Make sure you get your writing done by 3 o'clock so we can answer any question you have. And if you have a lot of questions, we can always do a Google Meet. All right, writers, time to go become your character. I'm a bear flagger who's a farmer and lives in the mountains. Maybe I'm going to go eat a bear steak. No, but I'm getting in the mood. You think about what it would be like for your character too. Bye.